You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the Missouri State Commission is seeking public feedback on Liberty Utilities fuel adjustment clause filings.
Also, a Kansas court has sentenced a Jasper County man for the murder of his wife.
And while we've got a pretty chilly start to the day, it will be a little warmer by this afternoon. A look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday. It's April the 15th, and it is a couple of things. One, it's tax day.
Yes.
Everybody's favorite day. And two, it's also halfway through this month. We are 50% done with April, and it's kind of wild how fast this year is going.
Absolutely.
Hoped it would slow down, but it did not. And something else that's coming up fast,
yes,
your opportunity to have a say in some utility rate changes.
Absolutely. Deadline is approaching, and the Missouri Public Service Commission is accepting public comment on a request by Liberty Utility to change the company's fuel adjustment rate.
KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on what customers need to know.
You have just days left if you want to make your voice heard to a proposed change to Liberty Utilities' Fuel Adjustment Clause. A Fuel Adjustment Clause is also known as an FAC. According to the Missouri Public Service Commission, the FAC requires regular adjustments to reflect changes in prices the company has incurred for fuel and wholesale power purchased to serve customers. According to testimony Liberty Utilities provided to the Public Service Commission, the proposed change would also enable the company to recover the difference between energy costs built into its base rates and the total energy costs actually incurred. According to that testimony, Liberty's FAC was undercollected by roughly $1.3 million in the last 6-month period reviewed. Liberty's FAC is reviewed every 6 months. For the average Missouri residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours, their electric bill would increase by roughly $2.24 per month if the requested FAC change is applied. Customers should know this is separate from Liberty's electric base rate increase request to the Commission, which proposes to raise rates by over 29%. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, the Public Service Commission is accepting those public comments through this Friday.
You can learn how to submit a comment on our website at koamnewsnow.com. And so, anytime utilities want to increase any kind of rate, they have to go through this process so that you, the bill payer here, have the opportunity to have your voice heard on these. So make sure you take that time. It's the same as voting. It's just as important to get your voice heard. And something else that's just as important is making sure you take advantage of today, because an unsettled weather pattern is getting ready to move back into the area, but not today. It is a bit cold though. Live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. It doesn't look cold, but it certainly is, because the temperatures that the thermometers across cities in our area are registering are considered cold, but it looks great. Clear skies, sun's rising. Of course, MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline also looking fantastic with those clear skies. The future track also looks fantastic with those clear skies, but it also shows slightly warmer temperatures. In fact, today, some of us are actually going to be like a degree or two cooler than yesterday, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. The winds aren't going to be gusting like they were yesterday, and our temperatures, even a degree or two cooler, are still pretty close to normal today. And then by late this evening, for at least a little while, winds will become calm before they'll shift out of the south after midnight tonight. Temperatures, as I mentioned, cold. We should be in the upper 40s right now for our average lows. We're not. We're at 39 in both Joplin and Pittsburgh. In fact, most of the region hanging out into the upper 30s. We have some low 40s. Anderson right now, the warm spot, at 49. So that temperatures come up a bit. Neodesha, you had been the cold spot all morning, but now you got a competition going on between you and Parsons. Not like you want to win that competition by any means, but those are the two coldest temperatures, both at 36. But worry not, you'll get some sunshine. You'll be a little warmer. We're talking mid, maybe even upper 60s for some of us. Sunny skies and a north breeze at about 5 to 10. A pretty fantastic day out there. Unfortunately, the fantastic weather is going to start to wrap up, because we are still in storm season. Severe weather season aside, we're still in storm season. That's going to start to change over the next few days. We'll go over those details with you and talk about that possibility of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms heading into the Easter weekend here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, a criminal suspect has been taken to the hospital and 2 Jasper County deputies are on administrative leave following an officer-involved shooting. The injured man is 43-year-old Gavin Newton of Joplin. Now, we don't yet know his condition, but here's what authorities say happened. Jasper County deputies were dispatched to investigate a domestic incident in progress Sunday on County Road 70. Now, according to the report, when they encountered Newton, he was carrying a knife. Now, they ordered him to get on the ground, but he charged at the deputies. Now, they tased him twice with no effect. Then one deputy shot Newton. Authorities say the deputies administered medical aid until EMS arrived. Newton is now charged with domestic assault and assault on a law enforcement officer. The Missouri Highway Patrol is now handling the investigation. A 2-vehicle crash claims the life of a small child on Monday evening. Shortly after 5 p.m., first responders were alerted to a crash on Highway J and Quail Road east of Diamond, Missouri. A Granby man driving a Chevy Trailblazer traveling north failed to yield to a Ford F-250 who was traveling west. The truck overturned and landed upside down. The Granby man and the driver of the Ford suffered minor injuries. There were 3 other occupants in the truck. A woman and an 8-year-old suffered minor injuries, and a 6-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene. Everyone was wearing seatbelts, and those with injuries were transported to Freeman West. Well, a Kansas judge sentences a Jasper County man in connection to the murder of his wife. Yesterday, a judge in Miami County, Kansas, sentenced Gavina McJunkins-Macias to 10 years and 3 months for the charge of second-degree murder. McJunkins-Macias pleaded guilty to the charge earlier this year. The charge stems from June 2024 when officers in Carthage, Missouri received a 911 call stating the body of a woman was found inside a camper in the 600 block of North Main. Authorities identified the woman as Kanaya Lopez of Carthage. The investigation revealed the crime had taken place in rural Lewisburg, Kansas, before the victim and the camper were driven to Carthage. Authorities arrested McJunkins-Macias and prosecutors charged him with second-degree murder in Kansas. Now, on the Missouri side, McJunkins-Macias was charged with abandonment of a corpse. Now, that charge is still being adjudicated. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, according to members, Trust Federal Credit Union, scammers often ramp up their schemes when people are feeling financially uncertain. KOAM's Lonnie Walton found some ways for you to protect yourself.
I talked to a couple of four-staters who says they were scammed before, but they say next time they're going to be a little more careful.
A lot of times, and I've had that happen at least 3 times, I bought a product that was misrepresented.
Webb City David Butler says he's been scammed one too many times.
Health goods, stuff like that, vitamins, stuff that they misrepresent.
Butler says sometimes he didn't even get the product, and that's what happened to Webb City resident Caleb Rowland.
Basically, I kept sending the dude money. I ended up sending him it was close to $200 I ended up sending him because I thought that I was going to get like a big payment in return.
With economists talking about a recession due to tariffs, this could be an opportunity for scammers, according to the Better Business Bureau.
Anytime there's chaos, anytime there's confusion in the world, in the markets, scammers are going to try to take advantage of that.
But Hernandez says there are ways to protect yourself.
Sort of unsolicited offer, unsolicited text message, anything that you get, research the source and be careful with sharing any kind of information until you're able to verify it.
Butler's keeping an eye out, so what happened to him last time hopefully won't happen again.
The last one was like $73 that they got me for.
And according to experts, if it sounds good to be true, it probably is. Reporting in the 4 states, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
According to the FTC, scams increased 25% in 2024 compared to the previous year. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Mornings with Mommy joins us with an invitation to this year's Easter pancake and Easter egg hunt. And later, Charlene shares a dipping sauce that pairs great with her Southwest egg rolls. She made those last week. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Kiwanis Park, located in Baxter Springs, Kansas. Welcome back. Now, it can be a struggle when parenting young kids, especially when you have little support. And we have Chris Hicks and Pastor Aaron Schumann with us this morning to share how Mornings with Mommy can be a great additional resource and also a fun, exciting Easter event that they have. Good morning to you both.
Hi,
Thank you
how
so
are
much
you?
for being with us.
Thank you.
It's been a while since you've been with us. We've
Yes.
talked about Morning with Mommy before, but refresh the folks at home.
Absolutely. So we offer a 1-hour educational play date, totally free. They are on the 1st and 3rd, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday evening at 6 p.m., Wednesday at 9 a.m. And what we do, we have a theme, a different theme, and we build on the theme. So we will sing, we will dance, we have arts and crafts. We have individual stations set up throughout the room with different activities. We have sensory, different puppets, and that the kids can lead their adult grown-up, whether it be mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, caregiver, and they can go around, have fun, play, and it's also great for the moms, parents as well. Sometimes it's hard when you are with your children all day and you don't have other adults to talk to. So it's fun. The moms come, they get an hour of socializing with other adults, and the kids have a great time playing.
Fantastic. Great sense of community there. You're also, yes, absolutely. You're also having the Easter pancake and Easter egg hunt.
Yes, our annual egg hunt.
Yes.
Yeah, so this Saturday, our church, Faith Lutheran Church, which we're located about a quarter-mile north of Pickler's Chicken Annie's. So at 10 o'clock, we have a pancake feed we're throwing for the community, so everybody is welcome to come. It's absolutely free. We'll have bunch of people out there making pancakes for anybody who wants to come to the egg hunt. And then our church has provided over 20,000 Easter eggs for kiddos to go out into the yard and pick up. And I saw on the weather, it looks like it's going to rain or it's going to be a bit wet, but we're running the egg hunt rain or shine. And so have kiddos come on out. 10 o'clock, the Easter egg hunt, 10:30, or the pancake feed, 10:30, the egg hunt. And then feel free to come by on Sunday for Easter worship and join us. We want everybody and anybody to come join us at Faith.
Fantastic. Well, what a wonderful event. And if people want to find out more information about Morning with Mommy, the egg hunt, or any future events that the church has, where can they do so?
All they have to do is go to faithpittsburgh.com, and we have the egg hunt event, all the information, as well as Mornings with Mommy, and they can sign up there as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you
to
for
have
having
you
us.
both. Of course. We'll stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOM Morning News. 7:17 now on this Tuesday morning, almost 7:18. Quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies, of course, clear, plentiful sunshine out there, and same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline. Got a pretty fantastic Tuesday lined up for us, and then an unsettled weather pattern begins to move into the area. So for today, we'll have a light north breeze, and we'll have the clear skies. Temperatures near average for most of us as we go right back around the mid-60s. Overnight tonight, winds will begin to shift out of the south, and they'll bring in slightly warmer air. So some of us could still be a little cooler in the low 40s, but most of us should be pretty close to average into the mid to upper 40s tonight. Clouds will increase, winds will increase Wednesday, and by late morning into the afternoon, scattered showers, some thunderstorms out there possible as well. South winds start gusting to 25, and we could have a strong or low-grade severe thunderstorm as we roll through our Wednesday. Then we get a little break late Wednesday evening, and then we get another complex of showers and storms that could be strong, should be in a weakening state by the time it gets here, but it will push through the area. But starting around 1, 2 o'clock Thursday morning, it should be done by 6 or 7 Thursday morning, and then we'll just be left with gusty winds and much warmer conditions Thursday as we go back into the low 80s out there. So in terms of our strong storm chances, again today, no worries. Tomorrow, A low risk across most of southeast Kansas. That stretches into into Thursday as well, into our northwestern counties out there with that complex of storms. But again, nothing major, but we could get some stronger storms with hail being the primary concern and maybe some gusty winds in our far western counties. Unfortunately, this is just the beginning of an unsettled weather pattern that will continue for a while. For example, that's very unsettling. It's very dark gray with green text. But that's all right. It is sunny in Joplin. I can assure you of that. It was sunny a moment ago. See, there it is. It just likes to mess with us. 39 is where we're at in Joplin. 34 is what it feels like, though, at that north breeze at 7. So it looks nice. It just doesn't feel so nice right now. Again, we should be the upper 40s. Most of us are not. We've got a whole slew of upper 30s out there. We do have some low 40s, and then we get this little gap where we get some mid and upper 40s. Anderson, the warm spot at 49, and we still have a tie on the cold spot in Neodesha and Parsons sitting at 36. All right, through the morning, clear skies out there, mid 40s to start, mid 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon we go, mid 60s for most of us, and that north wind at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Winds will be calm for a little bit late this evening, and then they'll pick back up out of the south at 5 to 10. Temperatures back into the mid 40s, maybe a few clouds out there. By Friday, the only thing that's changed on the future track is the timing, but that could impact what we do or do not see in terms of strong to severe thunderstorms late Friday evening, but still showing thunderstorms from Chicago almost down to Lubbock by late Friday. Here's 11 o'clock, and some of these could be strong, potentially severe. They will overspread the region overnight, continue through our Saturday. We could get a break here or there in the thunderstorm activity. Not at this point. We do not have a severe risk highlighted for Saturday, which is some good news. But then we go into Sunday, showers, thunderstorms start to return to the area. Now, some of our data suggests, like this future track model, that these showers and storms will last with us most of, if not all of Sunday. So if you do have Easter egg hunts or any kind of Easter outdoor activities, make sure you've got an indoor plan, because unfortunately Sunday, some of those storms could be strong, potentially severe as well. So here's what that zone for Friday. It again stretches from the Great Lakes to the panhandle of Texas and encompasses most of our area. By Saturday, it shifts off to our south and east, and then by Sunday, it retreats back northwest a little bit with that severe threat returning. So a lot to keep an eye on as we head into the holiday weekend for sure. All right. Again, mid-60s today. We're talking low 70s Wednesday, low 80s Thursday and Friday. Back to normal Saturday, but thunderstorm chances. Low 70s or at 70 for Easter Sunday, but more thunderstorm chances possible. Not a bad Monday, go figure. And then we have additional thunderstorm chances as we head into the next work week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Now, April is Soy Foods Month, and so who better to have joining us than Charlene Patton, as well as a local soybean farmer, Roger. He's out from near Galena, Kansas.
That's right, Roger. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Roger really represents 12,000 soybean farmers that we have in Kansas that grow soybeans. And Roger, tell us why it's important and a little bit about growing soybeans.
Well, our soybeans start as a seed, but we produce many of those that come into a high protein source meal, mostly used for livestock production and protein source. But there's also, farmers who raise tofu. That's a real high source protein for human consumption, which is what we'll be using here today in these meals that you're preparing.
That's right. And we have a lot of soybeans here in southeast Kansas, don't we?
Yes, there's over 12,000 farmers in the state, and many of those are in Cherokee County.
In Cherokee County. Okay, we're making a tofu dipping sauce. I love these egg rolls that we made last week, and this is a special sauce that goes with it. It's easy to make. We're going to use a food processor. You could use a blender, and we're using the tofu like Roger said. And this particular recipe uses the soft tofu, and I'm using drain that there a little bit because there's water on it. It's a pressed soybean product, and you want to drain that water off of it so that you have it nice and firm. And then we're going to add the lime juice. It says you can use either lemon or lime. I like using that lime here today. And then, Roger, how spicy do you like it?
Oh, spicier the better, right?
Okay, this is sriracha. How about you, Samantha?
You know, I think some spice is good.
Yes. So you could add more. It calls for ½ a teaspoon, but you could certainly add more. Then we have all these spices. And Roger, you just read what all. You don't have to tell the amounts. They're
Okay.
all ½ a teaspoon. But say what we have.
We have sriracha sauce, ground cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, smoked paprika, and dried oregano.
Oregano,
oregano,
yeah, oregano,
and salt.
Yes, very good. We'll put that all in here and then just mix it up. And if you wanted to, you could use your spatula and this kind of straight down the side so it all, but I mean, how easy is that to make this sauce? Refrigerated ahead of time, and that'll blend the flavors a little bit. But then take your spring rolls and just dip it in that sauce, and you have a great appetizer, or this could be like a complete meal. And one of the things that Roger and I were going to add is that because so much of the soybeans are also used to feed livestock here in Kansas, you could certainly add to the egg rolls chicken, you could add pork, beef, any of those to add to the textured vegetable protein that's in there.
Amazing. So not only super healthy, but also super tasty.
That's right.
So thank you so much for joining us, Charlene and Roger. We'll be right back after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Elise Snowy. Residents gathered at the Joplin Athletic Complex for the informal council in the park event. Community members asked questions, shared feedback, and engaged with local council officials. Local officials answered questions and collected ideas.
We're all people too. We're just like they are. We've just chosen to do a public service in our community and know that we're regular people and we can listen to their concerns, and we're concerned about the same things.
Now, the next session will take place on July 14th at Cunningham Park, and residents are encouraged to come and participate. City officials in Diamond, Missouri want to remind residents that a citywide cleanup is taking place until next Monday. The city will make a dumpster available at the city lagoon, and residents needing to use the dumpster after business hours need to schedule a time. Now, for more information, including a list of items prohibited from being dumped, just head over to KOAMNewsNow.com. Well, a long-standing tradition teed off yesterday at Twin Hills Golf Course. The 19th annual Ascent Golf Tournament serves as a fundraiser for Ascent Recovery, Residences, and The Rock. Now, for one event organizer, the tournament hits close to home.
It's real personal for me because I'm in recovery, so this has been my dream. I've had a dream of starting this thing for years and years, and so for me, it warms my heart because they're getting to see a different side of recovery.
The fundraiser aims to provide essential resources, treatment access, and a stronger path for those working toward sobriety. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Looking pretty good this morning. We've got those clear skies downtown Pittsburgh. We got clear skies across the entire region, but it is a bit cold this morning. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking good as well. A lot more folks on the road getting their Tuesday commute underway. The future track is also showing clear skies. We'll have a light north breeze and temperatures for most of us pretty close to normal. We may be a degree or two cooler than yesterday, but not significant enough for us to really notice. The biggest thing we'll notice is the winds won't be as gusty. In fact, they'll even become calm a little later this evening before they shift out of the south after midnight. Say at 39 in Joplin right now, 39 in Pittsburgh, and bear in mind our average lows mid-upper 40s. We've got most of us still into the upper 30s. We do have some low 40s. We even have some mid 40s down in our southern counties right now. Anderson, Miami, the warm spots at 46, and Neodesha and Parsons still tied up for the cool spots at 36 apiece. So again, a pretty cold start to the day. But otherwise, not bad heading into the afternoon. Sunny skies will make it into the mid 60s, and we'll have that north wind at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now, this is the last stable day we have for a while, as we're starting to switch into a more unsettled weather pattern over the next several days. And that does include the Easter holiday weekend. We'll break down those details with you in the full forecast, and that's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch Weather App. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch Weather App. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. One man is fighting against loneliness, one cup of tea at a time. We'll be right back, but before we head to break, here's a live look from Kiwanis Park in Baxter Springs, Kansas. In Consumer Watch this morning, the Social Security Administration implements new tools to protect against fraud. The agency says it's launching new anti-fraud measures that will identify suspicious activity in phone claims. Now, this comes after DOJ warned that fraudsters were specifically attacking the agency's call-in lines. Now, the agency says the new move is an attempt to modernize the agency and enhance security measures. Well, the FDA warns patients and doctors about the rise in counterfeit Ozempic on the market. The agency issued a notice yesterday urging pharmacies and consumers to check their Ozempic prescriptions to make sure it's authentic. Now, this comes after several hundred units of counterfeit versions of the popular diabetes and weight loss drug were seized. The maker of Ozempic and Wegovy told the FDA earlier this month that counterfeit injections were being sent outside its authorized supply chain in the U.S. Well, a new survey reveals Americans' opinions on the future employment rate, and it's not optimistic. According to a survey, 44% of consumers believe the U.S. jobless rate will go up a year from now. Now, that's the highest mark since April 2020. Now, despite the gloom outlook, the job market has remained on solid ground through March, extending a 4-year streak of employment gains. Well, May 7th is the start of America's new ID program, and the White House wants to make sure you're ready. Fox News' Jared Halpert has more from the White House.
The Real ID deadline is coming, but is America ready? The Trump administration is making a big push to remind people to check their IDs before May 7th. That is when federal officials will start looking for either a small star or a small flag on your driver's license or ID card to make sure it's compliant with new rules that enable information sharing between the states and the feds.
That information is not going to be any biometric information. It'll just allow people to get an ID that they should be on our planes. They should be people that are United States residencies.
The biggest difference for Americans will come at airports. You'll need a real ID to board a plane, and if you don't have one, you can expect big delays.
I mean, people could show up to the airport and not even be able to get onto their flight, which would be terrible.
Homeland Security says they're getting close to universal compliance in states that were early adopters of the Real ID program, and they're expecting to see similar numbers nationwide.
We already have 81% compliance of all travelers already have a Real ID and already use it. So that's why TSA is working so hard to educate people ahead of the deadline.
DMVs across the country are now reporting long lines as folks scramble to get their new IDs ahead of the deadline, and some are worried they might be out of time.
I just got here. I didn't really expect too much of a wait time, but they said it's about 3 hours to get the Real ID, so I'm going to have to come back on a different day.
If you can't get a Real ID by May 7th, TSA says you can use your passport to board domestic flights. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 now on this Tuesday morning. Of course, we're going to start with the future track because for today, it's pretty simple. We've got clear skies, a light north breeze, and temperatures pretty close to normal as well for most of us. So not a bad day today. Unfortunately, after today, we start moving into a slightly more unsettled weather pattern. It begins after midnight. Winds will shift out of the south tonight, and that allows us to, most of us at least, to be closer to normal for our lows, back around the mid to upper 40s. Then by late morning tomorrow and into the afternoon, we start to see scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, and a couple of strong storms are possible as we head into Wednesday. Then by the late evening, that will pause, and we'll get another complex, which should be in a weakening state of showers and storms by, here we are, 2 o'clock Thursday morning, and it will push off to the south and east pretty quickly, and by about 6 or 7, it is out of here. That will leave us with partly cloudy skies initially Thursday, and eventually those skies will clear. It'll be breezy and warmer as we go into the low 80s for our Thursday. So here's a look at what we're looking at in terms of our severe risks over the next couple of days at least. Today, of course, no worries. Tomorrow, it's a low risk across most of southeast Kansas, and for Thursday, with that dying complex, our northwestern counties have that low risk as well. And at this point, our tornado threat, we don't have any areas highlighted, so it remains very low. The greater concern is going to be with small hail and for some of our western counties, perhaps some gusty winds. Now, unfortunately as well, this is not our only severe threat over the next few days, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Clear skies in Joplin right now. As you can see, the sun is shining. 39 though, feels like 34 with that north breeze at 7. But again, a cold start to the day. Got a lot of upper 30s, starting to see a few more low 40s out there, and we still got some mid to upper 40s in some of our southern counties as well. We should be in the mid to upper 40s for today, or for our lows rather. All right, clear skies again right now and through the day. Mid 40s to start, mid 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today into the mid 60s with that north breeze at about 5 to 10, so not nearly as gusty as what we saw yesterday. Winds will become calm by late evening before they shift out of the south after midnight at 5 to 10. Mid 40s for most of us and just a few clouds here and there. Then we go into our Friday. Friday, we talked about it yesterday. We've been talking about it. It started showing up on the long-range severe weather outlooks Sunday morning. The only thing that's changed so far on Future Track for Friday is it's delayed the start of the storms. Now, that could potentially have an impact as to what we see Friday in terms of strong to severe storms. Now, right now, the greatest concern with these thunderstorms by Friday late evening is going to be for large hail. But, of course, as we get closer, we'll break down those threats, get some more information for you. But that same line still stretches from roughly Chicago almost down to Lubbock. And by Friday late evening, we have those showers and storms. Now, they'll continue to expand in coverage overnight and into our Saturday. Saturday, we're going to spend most of the day showers, thunderstorms out there. But our severe threat Saturday, at least right now, is not highlighted for our area. We're not looking at severe weather chances at this point for Saturday. Now, there are some discrepancies as we head into Sunday. We've got a couple of things. One, we see the severe threat get a little closer to home for us. And two, some data suggests that by the early afternoon hours, showers and storms wrap up. Other data, like this future track, suggests showers and storms stick with us through most of Sunday. So regardless, if you got plans for the Easter weekend or for Easter Sunday specifically, especially any egg hunts, you want to make sure you've got an indoor alternative, not just because of the rain situation, but because of that possibility of severe weather heading into Easter Sunday as well. So here's that severe weather risk area for Friday evening. Has not really changed since Sunday and encompasses most of the area. By Saturday, it shifts off to our south and east, but then by Sunday, it retreats back northwest along and south of the I-44 corridor. So that's why we really want to watch it as we head into this upcoming weekend, especially with it being the holiday. All right, again, mid-60s today, low 70s tomorrow, low 80s Thursday and Friday. Back to normal Saturday, about 70 on Sunday. Monday, naturally, the work day, a pretty decent day. And then we have additional thunderstorm chances as we roll through next week. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, it's been said a cup of tea is like a warm hug, and across the pond, one man is turning that comfort into a crusade against loneliness.
Tina Kraus has the story from London.
Wrapped up in the rhythm of their regular routines, few people take time to talk to strangers. Just ask British content creator Will Shears.
I don't suppose you want a cup of tea, do you?
No, not really.
I don't suppose you want a cup of tea, do you?
Oh, no, thanks.
Even in tea-centric London, finding a taker isn't easy. But Shears insists it's worth the wait.
The only thing I can get is a rejection or a yes. And if it's a yes, well, then it's a cup of tea and it's learning about someone's life, and that's beautiful.
I don't suppose you'd like a cup of tea, would you?
Oh, God, man, yeah.
Are you down?
The documentary maker has racked up millions of views on social media.
You stopped drinking alcohol. How did you, stop it?
Oh, I had to change a lot of the people I knew, you know.
It's lovely.
His Mug of Life posts tackle loneliness and spark connections.
Not many people on a park bench has been asked, would you like a cup of tea? And I think that element of warmth sort of straight away allows someone to open up. What's your name?
Brian.
Brian, my name's Will.
Brian Seff was the very first person to accept a cup.
I knew by the time I was graduating high school that I was going to be in show business somehow.
Seff talked about acting in the 70s and losing the love of his life.
She had cancer. She died in March of 2013.
What spirit is the base for a Tom Collins cocktail?
Now he runs a pub quiz in the British capital.
I've gone through many crises over the years, and just having someone around to talk to is great.
Cheers, Peter. Cheers.
Shears says he'll keep raising a cup with strangers, turning everyday moments
I prefer life now.
into memories worth sharing. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Now, Shears says he always comes prepared with sugar and milk, so his new connections feel the comfort of getting their tea just the way they like it.
Certainly a very unique project that he's taking on, and combating loneliness is an important step no matter how you're doing it.
Absolutely.
Combating loneliness is important.
Very cool.
I want to talk about what we've got as we head into our Wednesday. Now, today looks fantastic, but as we go into Wednesday, our winds are going to shift out of the south and they'll start gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. And by late morning, clouds increase, as do shower and thunderstorm chances out there. And a strong storm or two does appear to be possible, though these will be fairly isolated. We get a break by late evening, then overnight into Thursday. By about 2 o'clock, another complex of showers and storms roll through, and they should be in a weakening state by the time they get here. But there could be a strong storm or two associated with that as well. So again, for today, no worries in terms of any kind of severe threat. Tomorrow into Thursday, it's a low risk. Tomorrow, it's most of southeast Kansas. And then that other complex should be weakening by the time it gets here Thursday morning, but we still have that low risk in our northwestern counties. Heading into tomorrow's severe threat, tornado risk, no areas highlighted, so that makes it very low. The greater concern is going to be with some small hail and perhaps some gusty winds out there as well. So that's something else that we do want to keep an eye on. And as we head into the Easter weekend, more storm chances. Again, this morning, cold start, upper 30s, low 40s for most of us, with some upper 40s into northeastern Oklahoma. Mid 40s out there to start our day, and we'll be about the mid 50s by 11 o'clock this morning with those sunny skies. We'll have one more look at your forecast, plus the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Gavin Newton of Joplin is in the hospital, and 2 Jasper County deputies are on administrative leave following an officer-involved shooting early Sunday. Jasper County deputies responded to a domestic incident when they encountered Newton, who was carrying a knife. Newton failed to comply with commands and charged at the deputies, who tased him twice. Then one deputy shot him. Now, Newton is now charged with domestic assault and assault on a law enforcement officer. The Missouri Highway Patrol is now handling the investigation. Well, a Kansas judge sentences Gavina McJunkins-Machias of Jasper County man in connection to the murder of his wife. McJunkins-Machias was sentenced to 10 years and 3 months for the charge of second-degree murder. The charge stems after the body of a woman was found in Carthage. Now, on the Missouri side, McJunkins-Machias was charged with abandonment of a corpse. That charge is still being adjudicated. Well, the Missouri Public Service Commission is accepting public comment on a request by Liberty Utility to change the company's fuel adjustment clause. The adjustments to prices reflect changes in prices the company has incurred. Now, if granted, Missouri customers' electric bill would increase by roughly $2.24 per month. You can learn more on how to submit a comment on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com.
And again, a chilly start out there this morning, but not bad by this afternoon. Mid-60s, clear skies, and a north breeze at 5 to 10. Winds will become calm for a little bit late this evening. They'll shift out of the south after midnight at 5 to 10, back into the mid-40s out there. And as we head into the upcoming weekend, we've got low 70s tomorrow, south winds gusting to 25. Could have a strong storm or two by late morning into the afternoon hours, and possibly again early Thursday morning. Low 80s Thursday, Friday. The big thing we're watching is that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms late Friday evening, and then more showers and storms into the Easter weekend. And that unfortunately does include another at least low-end severe threat as we head into Easter Sunday. So as we've mentioned, if you have some Easter weekend plans, just make sure you're watching the weather. If you've got Easter egg hunts, make sure you've got an indoor alternative just in case.
And speaking of Easter, a new federal holiday could be hopping our way. Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt has introduced a bill to make the Monday after Easter a federal holiday.
It's called the Easter Monday Act of 2025. Now, Schmidt says it would give Americans more chance to celebrate with their friends and family. It would also break up the gap in federal holidays between President's Day and Memorial Day. So certainly an interesting situation.
Yes.
I mean, I'm all right with more federal holidays,
Yeah, you
Why
know,
not?
I wouldn't complain. And I know that Easter Monday is a thing in some areas of the United States. It's just not a federal holiday, so it wouldn't be so bad to include everyone else in it.
I
wouldn't
agree.
I wouldn't put up a fight at all.
Certainly not. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We're going to be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.